Hey everyone, just a few days to go before the big update on eFootball, and the unthinkable has happened. Konami have given us some news about the update. So they tweeted a bunch of things. There's things around gameplay, around packs. I'm going to talk about those. I'm going to talk briefly about the chance deals we're getting from contract renewals on Thursday and what legends we might be getting for those. I'm going to do a sneaky player of the week prediction as well, and I'll mention a few other things that might be coming from the update on Thursday as well. So firstly, trial matches. Or should I say exhibition matches. They've changed the name. They're going to be exhibition matches now. They've opened it up now so that you can use any club or national team in the game, and also you can specify the difficulty level and the length of the match. So that's a bit of an upgrade to exhibition matches. A bit of news for mobile users. Rain and snow are now coming to matches on mobile. So you can see a preview they're giving us here of a match in the rain, and here one of a match being played in the snow. So rain and snow coming to mobile. One very interesting bit of news around gameplay tweaks. There have been a couple of leaks around this, a bit of speculation around it, and they've told us now it's called Smart Assist. And it's a new addition to the gameplay which will support you during a match by automatically controlling certain aspects for you, such as shot power and dribbling direction. So there's been a lot of talk for a while now around how automated the game can be and the amount of assistance it gives you in defending in particular. And for most of us, I think we would agree that it's a bad thing. We don't want it to go even further in that direction. So this on the face of it is quite concerning. But I read a tweet from Henan earlier, and he was saying that this Smart Assist is a test feature that's intended to provide accessibility to the game for people with disabilities of a mental or physical nature. So if that's what it actually is, that's fantastic. I just hope it's not something that other people can abuse in order to allow the game to help them out and compensate for their lack of ability. But certainly, if this is something that's aimed at people with disabilities to make the game more accessible to them, that is a fantastic thing. A couple more bits of news around gameplay. Firstly, finesse dribbling. It sounds like it's going to be back. So they've not gone into too much detail on what they've changed, but it certainly looks as though they've made some improvements around finesse dribbling. That's definitely a good thing. It'll be very interesting to see how that pans out, but certainly it's a very promising bit of news. And physical contact seemingly is going to become more important in attacking and defensive situations. That's very interesting. It's been suggested that shielding is now going to become contextual, so you won't be able to manually shield anymore. It'll be something that happens contextually, just like it used to in PES. So that's very interesting. Again, we'll have to wait and see how that pans out, whether it turns out to be a good thing, a bad thing, or somewhere in between. Only time will tell. But two very interesting bits of news around gameplay. And of course, we have news about packs. I think most people would have predicted there's going to be some kind of Messi pack or a free Messi or something like that. This is what we're getting. We're getting a 2005-2006 Barcelona version of Messi with 10 highlight cards, a bunch of coins, trainers, this blue and yellow kit, which you may or may not like. I think it's hideous. And there's also a cheaper version with less coins, less players, and you don't get the kit. Don't know what price they're going to charge for it yet, but there's your Messi pack. And not only do we get Messi, there's a Neymar pack as well. And it's a 2014 Brazil version of Neymar. Same thing, 10 highlights, bunch of coins, trainers, a kit if you get the more expensive one. So two ambassador packs that will be available to purchase with the update this week. Speaking of packs, will we finally get this Dutch trio this week? They've been in the database for some time now. It's one of the most anticipated packs in some time. Are they going to cash in and release it when there's all the hype around the update this week? Quite possibly. I wonder if we'll be getting new partner club packs. We did last year, 6 partner clubs. Will it be the same clubs this time around? Most likely. Some of the licensing has changed a bit, so it might be slightly different, but I expect Man U, Arsenal, Barcelona, Inter and AC Milan. Last year they released a few, and then I think it was a month or two later they did another batch. So whether they do the same thing again, we'll have to wait and see, but it's quite likely at some point we will see some kind of partner club packs, I'd imagine. One pack we will definitely be getting with the updates week is the contract renewal pack. That's the pack for which we're going to be getting a whole bunch of free chance deals based on how many contract renewals we've got left over. So the only thing they've told us about what players are going to be included in this pack is that they're going to be either previously released epics or they're going to be previously released highlight cards. That's all they've told us. We don't know exactly how many of each there are going to be, and we certainly don't know which players are going to be included. What you're seeing on screen is from a recent stream where we just had a bit of fun trying to predict which legends might be included. So we ruled out the ones that we consider too valuable, the likes of, Rummenigge, Vieira, those types of legend, and any that have been in recent paid packs as well. And this is what we basically came up with. We had 3 tiers for likelihood, and these are the ones we consider most likely. So we reckoned that the legends in the pack are quite likely going to be out of these ones here. So if you want to have a proper look at that image, click on the community tab. I've posted it in the community tab. It's there for you to have a look if you want. Like I say, it's just a bit of fun, no inside information or anything like that, just trying to guess at it. One interesting thing with the legends that are going to be coming in this pack, if you look at the current pack we've got with 5 legends in it that we can potentially get for free, one thing that's interesting about them is that they're all national team cards, and they're all national team cards from before they started adding club affiliation. So I'm just wondering, are they looking at that and thinking that these types of cards are somewhat obsolete? Yes, they're still great cards. You could argue some of these 5 are end game cards. But the fact that they don't have club affiliation is a big disadvantage over the ones that have been released since they started adding that, because you can use them in, you know, club events, the league events, for example, the Italian League Challenge each week, stuff like that. So is that an indicator, with these 5 cards all being that type of card in the current pack, does that mean we're going to get the same type of epics? Are these the type of epics we're getting in this new pack on Thursday? Will they all be old national team cards? Quite possibly, you never know. And is this an indicator in terms of the ratio of legends in the pack as well? Is it going to be a 100-player pack with the same ratio? So with this one, 50-player pack, 5 legends, is it going to be 10 legends out of 100? I would be surprised if they put a lower ratio in, because this is just a pack with 3 legends. You don't have to do anything for it, just log in, you get a spin. A couple of objectives to get a couple of extra spins, of course, but this pack on Thursday, we've earned our chance deals with our contract renewals. We've actually earned them. It might not be currency as such, but we've still earned them. So I don't think there's any chance they're going to give us a lower ratio of legends in the pack. So I'm expecting there'll be at least 10 legends in there. Just a guess, of course, but that's my logic. But it'll be very interesting to see which legends we get in there. And like I say, the likelihood for me is that they may well be old national team cards like this, and I reckon there could be at least 10 in there. But either way, it'll be very interesting to see which players we do get in that pack on Thursday. Speaking of legend cards, we have had a few different types of legend card since eFootball originally released. We had the basic legends, the ones that we got from our loyalty bonus, of course, when we first got the game. And they put some of those in the point store as well over time. They stopped doing that a while back for whatever reason. We've had the epics, we've had the big time cards, and the current sort of top tier cards in the game are the epic legends with booster. Those are the most desirable cards in the game at the moment. We've been getting them for a while now. I wonder, with the update, are they going to start giving us a higher grade of card? Is there going to be a new type of legend card, or is there going to be a new variation on boosters? Are they going to put better boosters? Some people have speculated multiple boosters on cards. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do, because I'd be surprised if they keep giving us the same type of legend card without beefing them up and taking them on to the next level. I expect something new. Whether it's immediately with the update or a bit further down the line, I don't know. But I do expect something's going to change, and the most desirable legend cards will be a bit high rated somehow, whether it's through boost or whatever it is, maybe a different name for the card, we'll see, but I'm expecting something may happen around the types of legend we get in the game. On the topic of legends, will we be getting more legends added to the rewards for the penalty game? They've not added any in a little while now. They've added a couple of Showtime cards, so it'll be very interesting when we get the update to see what happens around the rewards in penalty game. Will they add more Showtime cards? Will they have more legends, highlight cards? Time will tell. But it would be nice if they did add 1 or 2 more legends into the rewards, because as we've seen over time, there have been some pretty good ones in there. Will they finally do something with the eFootball point store? They've recently added the player to the point store, so you may have seen my video a while back where I ranted about the eFootball point system. I suggested they just bin the whole thing, but with the player they've added, Levi Colwill, having an expiry 51 days from now, they're clearly not about to bin it. Will they change anything? Will they add anything more? They need to. They must know that they need to. They can't have more situations like last month when so many of us had tens of thousands of points expiring. It was ridiculous. Add some players, add some strips, maybe add some more items. I mean, just EXP trainers, that's miserable. Skill trainers, position trainers, whatever else. There's loads of things they could do. Surely if they're going to do anything with the eFootball point store, now is the time with the big update. Fingers crossed. Something else that I think needs improving, Match Pass. I don't think it's the way Match Pass works in itself, but for me, it's the rewards that are the issue. Obviously, there's no more contract renewals, and what they've done is they've replaced the contract renewals from the rewards with more coins. So you get your nominating contract tokens, you get a whole bunch of EXP trainers, and you get a few coins here and there. I think in terms of the logical kind of quantifiable value of these rewards, it's not bad, but one of the big problems, and probably the biggest problem, is that, as you would have seen if you've watched my review videos of the nominating contract packs in recent months, everyone says the same thing. The packs have got worse, and it's been months now since there's been a particularly good one. Every month people are looking at these packs and there's not many players that are that desirable. And when that's the case, you come to the match pass thinking, okay, do I spend my coins on this match pass? You're looking at the nominating contract tokens thinking, well, I'm probably not going to get very good players for it, and it puts you off spending your coins. That's the opposite of what they should be doing. They've got to make this desirable. They've got to create demand, and the best way to do that, yes, they could add skill trainers, yes, they could add position trainers, and I think they should do that, but they also have to improve the nominating contract packs, because for me, for months now, they just haven't quite been good enough. So that's something I'm really hoping for with this update. There will most likely be an international player of the week this week. I'm going to have a bash at predicting what players will be in there as I do most weeks. So, starting with the goalies, I think Rajkovic played well for Serbia against Spain. Dubravka had a couple of good games for Slovakia, but I think Victor Johansson of Sweden is possibly going to be our goalie this week. He played well, especially against Azerbaijan, so 2 good performances from Victor Johansson. I think he could be our goalkeeper. On to the centre-backs. Rami Rabia played well for Egypt against Cape Verde. Tapsoba had a good game for Burkina Faso away to Senegal. Slobodan Rubezic played well for Montenegro against Iceland, but I think 2 centre-backs who are going to make it in. Firstly, Ardian Ismaili, I hope I said that right, had a really good game for Albania, scored as well away to Ukraine in an impressive victory. And I think possibly a bit of a wild card, but Jay Idzes, again, I probably said that wrong, but I watched the game where he played for Indonesia. He was the captain at the heart of their defence away to Saudi Arabia. They were the underdogs. They got a draw, which is a fantastic result for them. I have a feeling he could make it into player of the week this week. Slim pickings at fullback. I've watched a few games over the past few days, and I've not seen too many outstanding fullback performances. I've had a look around at the reviews, watched some highlights. Couldn't see too many, but Kuliso Mudau did play well for South Africa against Uganda. Could we see him in? Possibly. David Hanchko played well for Slovakia against Azerbaijan. He could be a good shout as well at left back. I think an absolute shoe-in this week, though, DeMarco. He could be a left back, or they could put him in as a left midfielder as well, maybe a cross specialist, even a box-to-box. His goal was absolutely sensational. He had a really good game in a really impressive victory for Italy. So I think DeMarco, an absolute shoe-in for player of the week this week. Into the midfield, I think Højbjerg has a really good chance of being in player of the week this week. 2 games for Denmark, played really well both times against Switzerland and then Serbia. I think he'll be in as a defensive midfielder. I think Declan Rice has a really good chance. He plays for a partner club in Arsenal, had a really good game for England against Ireland, scored a really nice goal as well. We could well see a Declan Rice centre mid box-to-box card. And another centre mid box-to-box who scored, Reinders. He scored for the Netherlands against Bosnia and he had a really good game. He was very influential for them, so I would not be at all surprised if we saw Reinders in. Chak Bertadze had a good game for Georgia against the Czech Republic, as did Kvaratskhelia. I think both those guys have a very good chance of being in. Fabian Ruiz with amongst the goals for Spain over the past few days. I think there's a very good chance we'll see Fabian Ruiz in. And again, in the goals this week, McTominay for Scotland. He was on the losing side both times, but he keeps scoring for Scotland. I think there's a very good chance he'll be in. Kevin De Bruyne, we could see him yet again in player of the week. He had a really good game for Belgium against Israel. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in. Likewise, Luka Modric, he'll be another attacking midfield option. I watched the game, Croatia against Poland. He scored a beautiful free kick. Apart from that, he did play well. It wasn't an amazing performance, but I think the free kick alone might be enough to see him in player of the week. And Bruno Fernandes always seems to play well for Portugal. A couple of good performances against Croatia and against Scotland. Could well see Bruno Fernandes in player of the week this week as well. On to the wide men. Japan absolutely battered China 7-0. I think there's a good chance we could see either Kubo or Ito in. I think it's more likely we see Kubo. If you look at the ratings and the reviews, it sounds like he had an incredible game. He did play well, but I don't think he was that amazing. I think Ito as a substitute was better. We could see a Super Sub Ito card, although I think he already has the Super Sub skill, but he came on for the last, I think, maybe 20 minutes, got 2 assists and a goal. He was great on the right wing, so either of those guys could well be in for Japan. Lamine Yamal, unsurprisingly, had another 2 good games for Spain. He's just on fire. Could well see a Lamine Yamal card in player of the week this week. And then on the other flank, Ademola Lookman. We don't often see players from Africa in the International Player of the Week selections, but Lookman played really well for Nigeria. Could well see him in, but I think one absolute shoe-in as a wide man, Musiala, playing left wing for Germany against Hungary, had a brilliant game. Plays for a partner club in Bayern Munich. I think it's almost certain we'll be seeing a Musiala card in Player of the Week this week. And then the strikers. Not too many outstanding striker performances for me that I've seen. Alvarez played well for Argentina against Chile. Crasso for Ivory Coast against Zambia could be a wild card, but I think from Sweden we're going to see either Isak or Gyökeres. Both those strikers have been amongst the goals. They've both been playing really well in both their matches, so I think one of those guys is almost certain to be in. But the obvious one, I think we all know he's going to be in. He's got his 900th career goal, Ronaldo. He scored in both Portugal's games over the past few days. I think that if there was ever a dead cert for Player of the Week, it's going to be Cristiano Ronaldo for this week. And every week I give you, as a bonus, a look my match of the week and goal of the week. They're both going to come from the same match this time around. It's DeMarco with the goal of the week. It goes without saying, if you've seen the goal, then you'll know why I've chosen it. It was absolutely sensational. But the match was a really good one. I think most people expected France probably to win. Certainly when they scored almost direct from kickoff, it looked like it was almost certain they were going to go on to win. But Italy grew into it. They played really well, and it was a really good game in the end. So I'll put a link on the screen around about now if you want to check out the highlights if you're not already. It was a really good match, well worth watching. So that covers just about everything in terms of the big update coming this Thursday. There are some people speculating that this graphic they released that I've used for the background here is a hint towards perhaps crossplay. These 4 colors perhaps relating to the 4 platforms: Xbox, PlayStation, PC, console, mobile, sorry. If that's the case, great. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I've got my hopes up about things in the past. Likewise, could those 4 colors relate to co-op? Some people are speculating about that, saying the colors relate to the cursor colors in co-op. I'm not so sure about that, but certainly with co-op, they do need to do more. Could they extend it to 7 days a week, as it always should have been? Hopefully, but I don't know. Maybe we'll even get co-op rankings like divisions, but the thing is with all these things, I've learned by now with eFootball, as a lot of us have done, not to get my hopes up, because I'll just end up disappointed. Speaking of which, Master League, I doubt it very much. There's so much demand for Master League. They know that it would generate so much hype. They clearly would have announced it by now. The earliest I think we'll get Master League will probably be the November update, but I'm not sure we'll even get it with that. But yeah, I think that covers just about everything. Of course, we'll be getting some new player faces, and I know a lot of you guys are interested in the player faces. I'll be getting videos done of any player faces added to the game as soon as I can when the game is released, or when the update is released on Thursday. There will be more gameplay tweaks, I'm sure. Licensing, we know we're losing some clubs and leagues. Hopefully we'll gain some as well. And yeah, with all that being said, there's just one other thing that everyone is expecting to come on Thursday, and this is the big one. Inject that GP into my veins. See you on Thursday.